Guan. So this is QnA. I put out an Instagram story yesterday for questions and answers, which I haven't actually done on my Instagram. So it was cool to see quite a lot of interaction with it. We got quite a lot of questions and some that I'm quite intrigued to answer. Got the specs on, so we're doing up nerdy right now. But game's a game, and we got to look after our vision. And I bang out my contacts. And basically, the optician said to me, stop fucking using your contacts for 16 hours a day, every day. So I was like, Godspeed. I agree. So let's get into this. What or who hurt you so bad and made you become the sick goblin motherfucker that you are now? Wow, that's a good question to start it off with. Essentially, we could be here all day. We could be here all day because many things have happened in my life to accumulate this need to find limits, to push. And, you know, like, I think we all go through trauma or have some sorts, whatever we determine as trauma, and we handle it in many different ways. Some people go run for endless miles. Some people go cycle for endless miles. Some people write. Some people do art. Some people turn into criminals. Some people turn into drug addicts. Like, this is just a game of life. But I think many things have molded me into a person that likes to seek limits, that doesn't like to put themselves in a box, that likes to see what they're capable of over and over and over again in different domains, and wants to constantly, or has to constantly prove to himself that he's worthy, which for some people may be like, oh, that's kind of sad, or you've trapped yourself in a box or whatever if you constantly need to prove that to yourself. But it's not like I mean, I guess it is a form of like self-hatred, but it's also a form of self-love because it forced me to get out of my comfort zone and constantly prove to myself that you were capable, that you are who you say you are, that you deserve to be loved. And the woo-woos might say, no, you should be loved anyway. But no, you have to earn that self-love. You have to earn confidence. And to earn confidence is to do hard things, to seek pressure, to seek discomfort and overcome, you know? And I really believe that. And I enjoy doing it as well. So why would I not continue to fucking do it? And I'm just a fucking goblin because I just don't stop until I get what I want to get. And yeah, that's formulated over years and years and years of all sorts of shit. Honestly, we could be here all day, and it's not a therapy session. So we're not going to go into too much detail with that. But it's more just an inner voice that I need to be more. And I need to be more and achieve more and do more and be a better partner, be a better family member, be a better athlete. Like, it's just a constant need for progression to be better, essentially. Next one is, what do we say to the God of death? What do we say to the God of death? That was actually Alex. He asked a few questions. What do we say to the God of death? We say to the God of death, fuck you. And listen, when the true God of death does come knocking, your time's your time. You can't rewrite that. You can't change that. That is out of your control. You have to let that happen. But what you can do is put up a fucking fight. You know, you've seen it when people get ill, when people have these serious diseases and illnesses or have these serious setbacks, they can put up a fight and just continue saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and be like a dog that just doesn't want to go down. And eventually, if God wills it, you will have to go down. Everyone has their day. But sometimes, if you show enough grit, God might reward you with more time. But ultimately, you have more power than you think. A lot more power than you think. Many people write themselves off when it comes to big challenges or setbacks or whatever. And actually, if you show enough grit, you may just make it out of that dark fucking hole. That's my opinion anyway. That's my opinion. I just believe you should always try. You keep trying, try, until you physically cannot try. Until you physically cannot. Until you physically have nothing left to give. That is the goal to life. Give, try, work, until you have nothing left to offer. And that's the beauty of effort, my friends. That is the beauty of effort. Okay, next question. Alex again. Can you hear the bell whispering to you as much as the race nears with each passing day? Listen, that bell is a haunting thing. It is a haunting thing that you must not seek, nor touch, nor dream about. Because it will find its way into your reality if you let it seep into your dreams enough. And I don't want to ring that bell. If it comes to the point where I have to ring the bell, then so fucking be it. But I don't want to ring that bell. I want to make sure every other soul rings that bell before I have to ring that bell. And that is hopeful. That is me asking for a lot on race day. That is me asking for a lot of myself. And that is asking me for the luck and the gods to be in my favor. A lot has to go right for me to be the last one, or to not ring that bell at all. But listen, when you're bold enough, the gods favor you. So you have to dream it, you have to will it for you to have any chance of bringing it into reality. So fuck the bell, fuck anything to do with the bell, fuck anyone who's talking about the bell. I'm not going near that bell. That's the reality. Not a question, but just saying you're one of my favorite people on here. That is much appreciated, because I don't have a massive following, especially compared to some of the other rapid athletes. But I feel like people that I've interacted with through DMs and people that follow me or whatever, like, it's always a pleasure and it's always a positive experience. And I love the fact that I can have even a minuscule impact on anyone's life, which is kind of crazy to think about. Even with the little following I do have, and that people are actually interested in what I'm doing or what I want to talk about or how I'm training or my races or whatever. Like, it's a bit crazy to think that people actually care about that stuff. But I'm super appreciative of anyone who reaches out and has anything positive to say or negative, constructive feedback. I'm always willing to have a chat with anyone. And yeah, I'm just super grateful for everyone who's willing to support me and talk to me. And there's so many people that I've spoken to that also inspire me because of the things they're doing as well. And it's just so cool to just be able to meet so many people, especially people that I would have never been able to meet in normal reality, because a lot of people I speak to are German or from different parts of the world, American or whatever. So it's pretty sick to be able to know that you're impacting someone else and then they can impact you by the things they tell you and talk to you and inspire yourself. And, you know, social media is a cool fucking thing when used properly. A lot of people demonize it, but it can be this super cool thing where you can just meet people and interact with people that you would have never had the opportunity to. And for that, I'm super grateful. What are you most looking forward to discovering about yourself out there? Good question. I think just limits, man. Like, I sound like a fucking broken record, but it is just limits. It's finding new limits over and over again. I'm excited to find that place where I can't give no more. I've never been to that place, really, where there is nothing left to give, like physically nothing left. Like, I can't move. Me and Devin spoke about this, and it's like, you may think you're done, but it's like, can you move? Yes. So you carry on moving. So the point to which I physically can't move anymore, or I physically, no matter how much I try, can't make it back to the loop on time, I'm intrigued to find that spot. And I hope I get to find that spot. And by finding that spot, I know I'll get to find a lot about myself, what I'm made of, who I am. And with these races, with any sort of ultra races, but I think especially with the backyard races, from what I've witnessed, from what I've seen, but again, ultra races in general, and just races in general, they go on for so long and you go through so many emotions. It's like you live a few lives within one, because you're constantly talking to yourself, negotiating with yourself, finding out these crevices of your soul and your personality that you would have had to go through these mega, either traumatic or big experiences in real life to be able to access that version of you. Whereas in these races, they almost speedrun that. So because you're fluctuating in emotion, you're feeling all these different things because it's hard, because it's good, because it's bad, or this, you're being able to access all these crevices of your personality that you just can't access in normal daily life. Like I said, you have to have these big things happen in your life, whether that be a traumatic event or a super nice event or this or that. These big things in reality have to happen for you to access that. Whereas in a race, you just access it through the beauty of suffering and going through hundreds of kilometers and hundreds of emotions. It's a beautiful game. And I think that's what I'm most excited about, to find more holes of my personality, to find out what I'm truly capable of when we give 110% and leave nothing out there. Trying to let yourself be fully confident in that you can give 110%, that you've done the work, you're prepared. Now go fucking prove it. Now go fucking show it. Now go do the performance, give the performance that your better self deserves. Because a lot of sacrifice and training has gone into this prep. So yeah, I'm excited to just give my best and have the confidence to give my best and see how far we can go, you know? Find the lesser self, kill him, and serve him to the better self. Who is in the crew? So, crew. We got Alexander Piotr Lingawa, as you know, APL. We got Devin, who I crewed last week, 2 or 2 weeks ago, last week. He done 45 loops and 34 loops at Westervold 2 months ago. So he's a savage, and he's bringing like a camper van, he's bringing chairs, he's bringing a lot of shit. Devin is like helping out massively with like gear and stuff, and he's also a dog, and we got on really well at his backyard. So I'm super privileged to have him in the team. He's a savage. Then we have Ben Pages, which he was in the crew for Alex at G1M. So obviously I was around him a lot when crew and Kim, because our tents were together. Sick guy, he's a mental coach, he's an animal, and he's so open to learning and being systematic with it all. So he's always a pleasure to have in the team, and he's someone that you need in the team. Then we also have a guy called Dimitri. Funny story about fucking Dimitri. How I met Dimitri was at my High Rocks in London. So I was just walking around watching their Elite 15s, because I was racing that weekend and the Elites were racing on the Thursday or something. So I went down to watch, and I was in a rapid cap. And then obviously he's German, and he was with another guy called Roman. And they were like, oh, rapid. And then I turned around and they were like, oh, that's Kim's boy. And obviously then I was like, yeah, because he recognized me from crew and Kim and stuff like that. So then we were just chatting, mixing it up, me, him and Roman, talking. And then we ended up just watching the Elites together, because I was there by myself, because I don't know anyone really who's into High Rocks as much as me. So I just went up by myself because my girlfriend was working. And we were just chatting the whole time, literally throughout the whole doubles race, and talking. His energy's super sick, super high energy, super positive, super like just doesn't give a fuck, just super authentic. And I rate that so highly, because it's such a tough trait to come by in people. And I'm a super energy based person. Like I trust the energies that I get off people, and I got a super warm energy off him. And then we would talk a little bit on Instagram, because this was obviously back in March. And then when it came to deciding the crew, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's get Dimitri on board. I want that energy around when shit's low. I want him to experience it, because I rate him as a guy and I want him there. And yeah, man, he's a sick, sound fucking guy. So I want him there. So that's our full crew. And should be fun. Can you share your best backyard fueling plan? Noodles or rice? How often warm food? Brother, I think this is super independent and individual to the racer. I have my own plan for a certain amount of carbs an hour, which will largely, the base of that will be with carb mix and gels, because they're just trustworthy to get down, they're easy to get down, and they cause the stomach the less agitation, the less work. With warm foods going down when I basically ask for them. So this base of carbs with the gels and carb mix will cover largely a lot of the carbs, and then food top-ups will be welcomed. But obviously as we get later into the race, the carb mixes I might say fuck you, the gels I might start to say fuck you. So that's where stuff like noodles and all that stuff will come more in handy. But everything has to be calculated, so everything has to be make sure that you're not shooting carbs too high or too low, because both can be detrimental. And also with like noodles, like you mentioned, you can get a lot of sodium in that, so you also need to be careful of that, because if your carb mix has a lot of sodium, if you're then consuming electrolytes and then you're also taking a shitload of noodles, you can rack up 2,000 plus in milligrams of sodium very easily. And if your body isn't using that, that can cause you all sorts of fucking problems. But me personally, I go noodles over rice. I don't really want rice in a race, in my honest opinion. But in terms of asking how often warm food, honestly, I think it's up to you. And what you can get down and what your appetite and palate can handle. Sometimes you might want colder food, sometimes you might want warm food. So it's just going to come down to your crew having options and not making you decide across 4 options, but giving you 2 options. This or that, this or that, this or that. Less decision fatigue, less fucking hassle or bullshit. Just do you want this or that? And usually one sort of warmer option, one sort of colder option. If there's something specific that you're craving, let them know for the next loop. I want this, or I'm feeling something along these lines, or whatever. Let them know, talk to them, and practice it. Any specific goals? To push as far as I can. There is no goal outside than maximum output. If maximum output is 24 loops, if maximum output is 50 loops, if maximum output is 80 plus loops, if maximum output is winning the goddamn motherfucking thing. That is all I want to do, is maximum output. I can't ask for anything else. Full effort is full victory. That's what Devin said, and that is so fucking true. Full effort is full victory. There is no, I think with the backyard, like setting a thing of I want to win or this or whatever. Like I've spoken about it because obviously it'd be really fucking cool to win. I'm going to do my best to win. But me doing my best to win is just me doing my best. That is what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on like, oh, how far do I need to go to win? Do I need to go 80 loops to win? Do I need to go 100 loops to win or whatever? Like, especially because it's my first backyard. Like, there's this made up pressure that some people may give themselves because I'm a rapid athlete or because I've talked a certain way about this whole thing, talking about suffering and talking about doing well, whatever, but it's all bullshit because reality is all I can do and all I can fucking give is my best. That's all I can do, and everything else is just a bonus. Every experience I get from giving myself is just from giving my best is just a bonus. I'm here to explore. I'm here to be curious. I'm here to find out what I'm made of when times get truly tough and I have nothing left to give. Can I find something more to give? That is what I'm there to do. You know, talking about goals and yards and loops and placings, it's all draining and tiresome. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to give my best, to find my better self, to kill my lesser self, and to see how my body reacts when everything is screaming, telling me you're done, you have nothing left to give. Can I find another 1%? Can I find another 2%? And that's all anyone should be focused on in this format, in my opinion. I think that's how you really go far, to be honest. Focusing on the loop in front of you and not focusing too far ahead of that. So how or when will you know when you've reached the limit of what your body is capable of? Good question. I think your body will try to trick you out throughout many times, because something I've spoken about with a few people is they're struggling on like loop 6 to 10 and they're like, I've done these distances before and I feel fine. Like, why am I struggling now? And then they get to loop 20 or 24 and they feel better. I think the reality is in this format is that when you've done a marathon, when you've done 50K, when you've done 70K, when you've done 80K, you've done distance. Like, that is no distance to frown upon or be ashamed of. Like, that is distance. And you're hurting for that. Everyone is hurting for that. No, whether you're Harvey Lewis, Phil Gore, or it's your first backyard ultra or your first ultra in general. Like, everybody is hurting there. But just the best guys ignore it. They just ignore it. And the problem is that people get in their head because they've done this and they're hurting, but they still see there might be another 50, 60, 70, 80 runners still. At LSU, there'll probably still be 140 at 100K or 100 people at 100K. And you're thinking, fuck, I've run 100K and there's still 100 people left. You're not really getting the gains from your effort. You're not reaping the rewards from your efforts. But then when you get to 24 hours or 48 hours, you've obviously done 100 miles, 200 miles, 150 miles, whatever, and there's way less people. So because there's less people, because people are dropping out, because people are giving up and you're not, you're feeding off that. You're getting the rewards that you deserve. You're being paid for your efforts. So that's why it feels easier somewhat the later it goes on, because you know you're making it further and you're eating up the pack and you're being rewarded. Whereas at the start, you're working hard for not much gain because there's still people in the game. So that's where the mind games can sort of trick you a little bit, and where it can tell you, oh, you're done maybe, or you're not really built to go further or whatever because you're sore, and you just have to ignore it. You just have to, boom. Unless a major injury happens where you physically cannot step forward, or something else goes really wrong where you cannot physically move forward, there's no excuse not to go further. As long as you can move, you can move. If you don't make it back on the loop on time, so be it. But if you can move, fucking move. So limits are not real. Your limit is only a portrayal of the bandwidth of your imagination. So the bigger your imagination, the bigger your limits. If your imagination is endless, if it's infinite, then your limits are infinite. You can go as far as you fucking want to go, as you can imagine to go. And that's the beauty of the Backyard Ultra, is that there is no limit. You just go as far as you believe you can go. And if you have a self-belief that is unrelenting, that is animalistic, and you just believe in yourself so fucking much that you can do anything, then I truly believe that infinite is possible to touch. Whatever infinite looks like for you. Green Goblin gang. Green fucking Goblin. We are here at LSU to dish out some Goblin bombs, to do some fucking stunts on my Goblin glider, and show people what the Green Goblin's about. I wish I had a Green Goblin outfit. That would be pretty cool, or a mask. Maybe I should have bought a mask. Shame. Are you down for the Swiss Alps 100 someday? 100%. I know a guy who didn't do the 100 miler. He did the 100K because he has like other races and he's just recovering from another big race, called Charlie Stewart. Absolute monster of a human. Yeah, he done like a 100 miler in Canada and had to DNF because he fucking had like rhabdo or something. So then he's doing a race like 3 weeks later, which is the Swiss Alps 100K. Has like 6,500 meters vert. I think the Swiss Alps 100 has like 10,000 meters of vert or something. So just insane numbers. But I would love to do that. The Swiss Alps has some insane views. And me and the mountains love each other. I love to make love to mountains. They call me whenever I see them. They want to be mounted every time I see them. And I would love to do Swiss Alps. It sounds like beautiful suffering, but beautiful suffering, that's beautiful. So why not? 100%. What are you seeking in the race? Not like a result, but more of a personal, spiritual thing. See, I spoke about this. Like, the result will be what it will be. I cannot control how far everyone else runs. I cannot control what my limit truly is. All I can do is find the limit and try to fucking push it further. You know? But all that I can measure is effort. And I'm more than willing to give my best. And I want to find a higher self. I've talked about it so many times. I want to kill the lesser self and find the better self. I want to gain access to him, because with all the training, with all the preparation, with all the sacrifices that have gone into this race, that better self is waiting there. He can go far, but I need to earn the right to grab him. And on race day, I'm going to be asked by the gods, do you want this better self? How bad do you want it? And it's going to force me to go through some tough hurdles, some dark times out there in the loops and the nights. And he's going to ask me, do you want this? How bad do you want it? And I'm going to have to just reply, more than you fucking know, and keep marching forward. And eventually the gods might just hand me the better self, and I get that level of self that is unmatched, that is dynamite. Do you want to win the LSU 2026? Would I be racing if I didn't want to fucking win? Would I be racing? No, I fucking wouldn't, bro. I'm too geared up for this shit. I've given too much in this prep. I've given too much over the last 4 or 5 years of running in circles and running stupid mountains and running stupid distances and stupid things to not fucking want to win. I know the level of competition that's there, the level of dog, and I respect everyone. Like, it'd be naive for me to think, oh yeah, I can compete with Harvey Lewis, who's done 110 loops. Like, you can't cheat reps. Like, the bro, these guys, Henrik Bowery, all these guys, Mark Dowdle, they've done more reps in this game than I have. So to think I can just walk in and deserve to be recognized, deserve to be regarded for a win, deserve to be seen as competition, it's bullshit. I don't. But this is where I show them. This is where I show, are you capable? And the only way I can do that is by focusing on myself, by treating each loop as an expedition of my soul, and trying to find myself and a better self each loop. And we just count the loops, 1, 2, 3, and we just focus on the next hour every time. So right now, I'm not really thinking about winning. Right now, I'm just thinking about giving my best, which I've repeated over and over again. I want to give my best, brothers. That's all I want to do. Are you afraid of your first backyard ultra? Of course I'm fucking afraid. If I wasn't afraid, I wouldn't be doing it. I don't really want to do things I'm not so afraid of. Whether that be speed things like a high rocks, like where I'm pushing for a time, like, yeah, I'm scared of going out for a sub 60 high rocks because I could burn in flames. This could hurt a lot. That's fear. I'm scared of going in my first backyard ultra where there's no finish line, where I don't know where my limit is. I don't know what pain I'm going to feel. I don't know how hard it's going to be. I mean, I'm intrigued to find that. It's fear, but it's also a level of excitement. It's an anxious fear, an anxious energy. I want to find it. You know, I want to feel that fear. That fear is a finite emotion that we don't always get to feel in daily life. So when these events come, you have to harness it. You have to cherish it, because that fear is a special thing. You know, you don't always get to feel the fear of an event, of doing something or doing a hard thing, you know? And to feel that is a privilege. To be able to do things like this is a privilege. So everything is coming from a gratitude perspective. So even though I'm a bit scared, like, fear has kept us humans alive and allowed us to evolve and allowed us to elevate and ascend multiple, hundreds of times, 100,000s of times over the millions of years we've been on this fucking planet. It's why we're the top dog species, because we can feel fear and go straight into the void with fear being there. Because we want what's on the other side. The ones that are willing to risk it all to have it all are the ones that win. And I'm willing to risk it all to fucking have it all. How deep is your love? What the hell is even that? My love goes so fucking deep, you would have no idea. No idea. Because I'm a pretty tense person. When I love something, when I want to do something, I run it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And that is all for the questions. Godspeed, LSU, 4 days. 4 days until self-destruction, 4 days until we find the higher self, 4 days until I become my best self. And also a shell of myself. But, if you're going to take anything from this video, 1, full effort is full victory. 2, results don't matter. Who you become in the process does. 3, limits are simply portrayals of the bandwidth of your imagination. 4, Godspeed. 5, insanity wins. Happy Monday.